Hello and good evening, and welcome to Current Affairs Kenya, where we bring you the real conversations behind the headlines. I'm your host, James Kimtai, and we are diving into the debate around the major proposal, the idea of extending the presidential term from 5 years to 7 years. Is this the stability Kenya needs, or is it a threat to our democracy? And that's not all. We'll be discussing about the recent shake-up on the leadership, with the impeachment of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and the appointment of Kithure Kindiki. Here to discuss this are my guests, Brian Gary and Natalie Mbogo. We'll start with you, Brian.
So, hi guys, my name is Brian Gary, Msanii mwenyewe, aka Self, and I will be here proposing the idea of the 7 years and the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua.
Natalie?
Hi, my name is Natalie Mbogo, and I am happy to be here discussing this with you.
Thank you for coming. We'll start with you, Brian. Why are you in favor of the extension of the presidential term?
I'm in favor of the extension of the term because we need more time. Because just imagine this way, you have 5 years to do something, but you at your end of your period, you don't actually do them. You actually secure what you need, the funds, whatever you're needed to do, but you don't initialize whatever you wanted to. And then next on, somebody else is going to come with their own initiative and start to do the same. When that happens, we are losing a lot of time. We are losing a lot of time. We are losing a lot of precious resources us as Kenyans. So if we have the 7-year term, Cindy, we're going to have like more time and more time for the person to go secure the funds. Like let's say the president is going to secure the funds, Cindy, and start the project so that when the next person after the 7-year term ends, he's going to come up and pick up from where he left, not starting another new thing. So that's why I'm in proposal of this. We need time.
That's a strong start.
Yeah.
Natalie, why are you against the proposal?
Now, there is a reason why we have 2 terms. If the common wananchi, as citizens, we like you as our president, we are going to elect you again and give you now, instead of those 7 years, you have 10 years to lead us. But increasing that time for you, we have a lot of presidents from the past who have been able to accomplish so many things in those limited 5 years they have, and in those 5 years we have been able to see a lot of change, development in the country and whatnot. And with the current president we have, he's not been here long. He hasn't yet finished his 5 years. Yes. Yet he has brought a lot of trouble and complication to our country. So increasing an extra 2 years, I am afraid of where this country would end up after that whole period.
All right. That's a strong point right there. Moving forward, I want to go back to you, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the extension from 5 years to 7 years is going to bring stability to the country?
Yeah, it's going to bring stability to the country. Just look at it this way. As my fellow comrade has said, 5 years, 5 years. We've seen presidents having 5 years and then 5 years, like 10 years to do whatever they wanted to do. So, they enter into office and they're given 10 years and the Wananchi elect them later on. Now just imagine this. What if the person lost that thing? Like 5 years, I've secured the funds to build something for you guys, Cindy, and then the next one, you fail. Now, it will be now like a whole grab of power, whole grab of resources and every single thing during that time. While us, when you have 7 years, the person can start can secure what they need and start the project. So that when the next person is elected, even if it's not the person currently mwenye secure, they can now have that pace already set for them. Now they can now go on with whatever was set before them. So, they can pick up from where it was left, and continue and also add their own things to it. Not like after 5 years we have to do another elections and then all of a sudden the next 5, it's just gonna bring a lot of instability. But
assuming the president is re-elected after these 7 years, so we'll have terms of 14 years.
Yeah, that means he's doing his work because he's secured and he's already started the project. So it means he's following through whatever he needs. We've given him time. The people have seen those 7 years apparently ameanzisha, wacha sa amalize. Let him finish off with everything that he's brought for us, and then they're gonna do something on it. Also, even if they do that still, they can also add something else to it. the time period is way, way more. So it can set a good foundation for even the next person entering. Yeah.
Natalie, we're back to you. Do you think the 7-year extension will bring more stability to our country?
I don't see any positive way forward with this. And to add on what you're saying, Brian, then tell me the things that the president has done to improve our country with the short time he has been here, to be able to convince me that yes, he needs another 2 years so that he can do more for this country.
Let's kick it off with the Adani deal that everybody is so purely against of. The guy is a foreign investor. Mentioned in Forbes, he has a lot of money. He has a lot of credit. So when we get those funds, for instance, the one for the JKI, we can see how our airport is. Yes, we can say it's one of the best ones in Africa, East Africa, but it's not there because it has a lot of structural issues, and that's the last thing we need. Structural issues to our airports. So when you get those funds, we can redevelop it and make it even more better. They can track a deal. Same thing. We get the funds. He's gonna try and start and initialize those projects to make every single thing better. So he needs that time. So far, he's already gotten it. Now imagine his term is going to end while he's gotten the funds. We're going to elect another person who's going to come in. They're going to start adding more. Let the person who's gotten all the funds initialize his project via the time than us waiting for another person to start another thing. We're going to lose up a lot of time. We're going to lose a lot of resources. We're going to lose a lot of people in the whole process. So I rather we just give him the 7 years. He's gotten the deals, right? Let him start the projects. When the projects are started within that 7 years, the person who's going to be elected, even if it's not the person in office right now, if the person who's going to be elected is going to carry on the mantle from him.
Yes.
And also from that scope, he can also add something on his side. See, let's say JKI is like this, we need more planes and stuff like that. For my nanny's sake now, I'm just going to add something on it. You're going to spice it up a little bit here. You're going to add some few development projects here, and I'm going to secure the deal so that it continues to be carried on forward and forward better. Then 5 years, somebody else comes. I have an idea, guys. 5 years, anatolewa. It doesn't make any sense. It's just unstable for me.
All right, thank you. Well, there we have it, guys. We have strong views from very passionate guests here. I'd like to encourage Kenyans to stay engaged and informed. We'll go on a short commercial break, and when we're back, we'll have an exciting segment for you guys. See you.
Explore our well-equipped classes and lab, where creativity meets no bound, and unleash our major courses such as graphic design, animation, and other additional courses.
In film, we help you embark on a cinematic odyssey, igniting creativity frame by frame.
Action. Scene 1, take 2.
Why is this happening to me? Why is everyone I love passing away? Why?
Immerse yourself in the world of sound here today at ADMI with our sound engineering and music production courses at diploma level. Ready to turn your passion into a blockbuster career? Join us here today at ADMI, where creativity meets opportunity.
Welcome back to Current Affairs Kenya. We're moving from politics into another important issue affecting Kenyan society: how families are adapting to evolving norms around sexuality. Here to discuss this are Natalie, who believes change is happening, and Brian, who feels there's a major challenge. Let's start with you, Natalie.
So, hi. And yeah, with this whole rise of being more adaptable to people's sexualities, I feel like we are having a change, yes, but it's mostly being seen in the urban areas as compared to the rural areas. We are seeing that parents, or okay, not really parents, but their children are being more open with who they are, or like who they want to be in the future.
So there seems to be a slow shift in how families view this.
Okay, as compared to the Western world, for here in Kenya, there is a shift. It's gradual, but it's happening.
Brian, do you agree?
First of all, before even I say I'm agreeing, that is a huge challenge on its own. I am not gonna lie, it's a huge challenge of its own. This whole thing of different sexualities and stuff like that. God made a man and a woman, not woman, man. You get me?
Yes.
So that is a whole challenge of itself. Because just look at it this way. And there's a reason why even in the rural homes, they don't want it. Because it goes against everybody's norms. Norms, traditions. In the traditional society, us as Africans, that we are so proud of, they didn't have this thing. It's the Western thing. This is a Western thing wamekuja kuintroduce hapa kupotosha watu. To me, it's a big challenge. Yeah, sexuality, nah. I think every single thing should just remain as how it is. Yes, there's a change of people accepting, but at the same time, honestly, nah. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be man, woman. Peke yake. Anything else than that one, kidogo.
Natalie.
So let me tell you something interesting. Before this whole colonization came, we actually used to have relationships in the African core community that was between a woman and a woman and a man and a man. It's just that after the Western people came with Christianity and all, we were led to believe that it was something bad, something that people in our community can't fathom. Yet back then it used to happen. It wasn't seen as wrong or a taboo. It used to happen naturally. People did not really talk about it, but it's the same way back then we used to be we are still, some of us in some communities, people are polygamous, but when the people from the Western world came, when we came into Christianity, we were told that marriage, you should be one man and one woman, you cannot have many wives. So I think it was just I'm not necessarily going to say it was our culture or anything, but it has just been pushed away or buried. And in some concepts of the Bible, we see that it has been rewritten a lot, and there are many versions of it. And some back then, we had an odd relationship, not we, but back then there was an odd relationship between men and children. And in the Bible, it was written, it was said that man shall not lay with child, but they had their own weird and corrupt way of thinking, seeing as not everyone was holy back then. It was written and said man shall not lay with other man, so that they can hide the fact that they did it with children. So there are a lot of controversies and other things towards it, but as it's starting to come up right now, we are changing back, and I think starting to accept it more, and being able to accept the gay people and the lesbian people for who they are.
All right, that's a good point. Which will lead me to my next question. Do you think education and cultural values play a role on this?
That one I'm not really sure, but there has been a case where now this wasn't in Africa but in the Western world, where there was this teacher who refused to teach on the new laws of marriage or families that have come, because when we were in primary learning about the nuclear family, where you have the mother, father and children, now they introduced into their curriculum that they have the mother and child, or father and child. And when she refused to teach on that, I think either she got sued or was fired by the school. So maybe yes, there is a bit of a change in how the culture is affecting education, but I don't think it's that drastic.
All right. For you, Brian?
First of all, as she said, me kwangu, I'm seeing there's a change, because how are you telling me I don't want to say something that's not right and then you fire me because of it? Yeah? How am I okay? You've told me to teach this whole new thing, mother, dad, that type of thing in school, and then I say no, and then you fire me. What does that? What honestly inaonyesha mean? It really shows so much where we're going to. It should stick on how it was and how it was before. It's man, woman, man, nothing else, and the whole traditional period, as she said. To me, I don't really believe in it that much. Like I highly doubt it they used to do it like that, because back then there were very strict laws put in place for these things. It is only just the intrusions of the people of the West, ndo sasa kila mtu akaanza kuwa this whole not saying it's bad, this whole self-aware thing just opened doors to these people, and then all of a sudden they're starting to come out and I was saying, no, I'm not attracted to this person. Honestly, that's not the case, because some instances I've heard, it's just like they did it as a age thing. I was literally watching this video once, and this lady said she was queer, like once, kitambo, how she was. She's like a mandem. She's a female, like any boy. You get me? Yeah. She's behaving in that way, and she was attracted to other females. Later on, she was all on and on, but like, I wish I didn't do this. I wish oh, I want to have kids. I want to have a family. You see, this thing is non-existent. It's just like put in place in our society to just like corrode us. Yeah. Because we all know how every single thing... Because just look at it. How is a woman and a woman supposed to bear a child? How is a man and a man supposed to bear a child? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Unless kuna kitu imefanyika within our physiology that I don't know right now. Then that's the whole case about it. But this whole scenario and stuff, it's really affected the cultural norms in schools and stuff in a negative way.
All right. Thank you both for those powerful points. I believe that the path to understanding starts with conversations like this. We'll go on a short commercial break, and then we'll be right back with a very exciting segment. See you soon. Welcome back, guys. Today we're in the streets of Nairobi. We want to get their take on some of the new trends in film and the rise of online streaming. With me, introduce yourself.
Yeah, Daddy.
Namna gani?
Uko fiti?
Yes.
My name is Kenik.
Kenik.
Yes.
We want to get your take on the new trends in film you've seen post-pandemic.
Post-pandemic?
Yes.
Okay, it's all right. For me, I would say actually the use of AI. Because I think people are really using AI very well. They're taking advantage of it.
Yes.
And probably even writing scripts using it, maybe doing even post-production. But you see, the thing is, I think people also need to understand AI can't replace human creativity.
Yes.
You know, nothing can replace it. A script from ChatGPT or Gemini and a script written by a person, they'll be very different. Yeah. Like, it has no human touch in it. Yeah. But it's actually good. Like, I'll prefer use it maybe to give you ideas or to maybe refine a script you've already written. And also not just that, even in matters post-production, things like audio editing, we have softwares right now, actually, which can do the refining for the audio, remove noise, add EQ compression for you. So it's actually a good thing that people are using it. But I'm afraid it's kind of now making people a bit lazier. Because now people, they're not really working as they used to, you know?
Lazier, or actually it's making work easy?
It's making work easier, but you see now that's making people lazy in some sense. If you think of it, because now sitaki kuchoka, mbona nifikiria kuandika script ya wana.
Yeah.
Let me just give it a prompt, niambie, give me a script about a boy in Kenyatta Avenue. Boop. You know, now I have a script. In a minute, I have a script, you know? Yeah. So I think it's kind of making people lazy, because now, lazy in the sense, you'll take that script and that is exactly what you'll shoot.
Yeah.
You'll not even refine the logo through it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, it's kind of making people lazy. But it's making work easier, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
For a second question, have you seen a rise on online streaming?
Online streaming, yes, I have, which is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Because right now, I don't, like, sihitaji kungojea 3 months kuona movie imetokea Korea.
Yeah.
Like in a matter of days, it's on maybe these platforms like Netflix, Showmax, Prime Videos. So it's actually good that it's like made the world a global village. Like right now, nikitoa movie na yeko Netflix, mtu wako Pyongyang anaweza watch bado, you know? Wherever you are, you can watch it. So it's actually a good thing. And it's actually good that they are rising. But now the disadvantage is mainstream media is now dying. You know? But if they could get away of also getting to know the secrets behind online streaming, then it will also be good for them. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking about mainstream media, what are some of the improvising they can do so that now they can go back up?
Just understand that. May I speak to them? Camera nyumbani.
Yes, camera is here.
Mainstream people are no longer watching TV as they used to.
Yes.
Like our age right now, we are not our parents. I personally just watch TV when I'm watching news. But if they could get away of going online as well, like there's a station, I wouldn't mention the media house, but they have an online streaming platform where they upload most of their content, which is actually good. It's a win for them because even through that platform, they've even come up with a travel agency and stuff to do tourism. So it's actually good. So they need to just plug it online because in the next, give it like 10 years, mainstream media, it won't really exist. And I'm sorry, Kenyan media stations, but I know we're trying to get to that level, be like, we're constantly doing news like BBC and CNN, but we are not BBC and CNN yet.
Yes.
There's a lot of work to be done, but they can improve as well.
Cheers, maze. The people at home, you've heard that. Watu kwa ground wameongea. Cheers, maze.
Nashukuru, man. Wazi.
Welcome back, guys. We're still on the streets of Nairobi. We want to get some take on this beautiful lady here. Kindly introduce yourself.
I'm Martha.
Martha? Yeah. Karibu sana. So I have 2 questions for you. Question number 1. What are the new trends in film you're seeing post-pandemic?
New trends. People are buying films. Okay, people are buying films that have already been done.
Okay.
It's cheaper. I think people don't have money, so one or another, the cheapest way to buy a film that has already been done, redo it in a different way, different setting. Yeah.
So people are lacking originality.
Yeah, no, I don't think they are lacking originality. I think the fans. Kama unado. Sema kweli. Kama unado utanunua kitu yenye ni cheaper. Getting an original film, I think itakuwa ni more expensive. So don't buy films.
Okay.
Okay.
So for question number 2. Have you seen a rise in online streaming post-pandemic?
Online streaming post-pandemic? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's a rise. Time ya pandemic tulikuwa tunashinda online. So people have stuck in that moment, in that online-ish vibe. So people are still on phones, everything. In short, pandemic ilifanya watu wakuwe kwa simu more. So it is so hard for us to come back from when tulikuwa tumezoea. So I think it is ina come up. Yeah, it has its negatives and its positives, but yeah, it's there.
Speaking of negatives and positives, what are the negatives and what are the positives?
Nginyo mse.
Kindly listen.
OPG.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
I think how do I say this? It's negatives abroad. People are exploring in different ways.
Yes.
Mnaelewa.
Alama za dukuduku.
Alama za dukuduku.
Yes.
Which is so bad because other kids are getting access to this. Its positives, is people are monetizing
Yeah.
their online streaming, online marketing, online. Everything is online, so people are monetizing
Okay.
in the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the positive.
All right. So thank you for your time and wise words.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you too for having me.
To our viewers, thank you for joining us. It's been real. I'm your host, James Kimtai, and this has been Current Affairs. Adios.